is that it's extremely friendly for any mobile device. And so right now it's being blown up on your computer through a browser. So just some background information on this thought exchange. We're a remote company, or we have around 3 to 4 offices spread out across BC. And twice a year we get together as a company. And right before one of our company-wide meetings, our CEO asked us this question: what is one important skill we can all focus on improving during our time together at the company meeting? So I'd like to now show you this video. So leaders have this option to provide some background information, but also record a video. And we found that this is extremely useful, as it kind of provides that meeting type of vibe where you get to see the why behind the question and also the passion that the leader has behind why they're asking it.
Hi, everyone. So in past company meetings, when we've got together, we've spent time focusing on some specific skills that seem to apply.
Yeah, whatever. I think the main point is just that you play the video. I think, Shannon, you caught on to this well, which was like, I really like that because it kind of shows our bread and butter of our company. Like, we say all these cool things, like we do this and this, even though I don't think I've ever done it, but still. So yeah, it's just like I think it's a good thought exchange that shows our company culture a bit, which people like.
Yeah, and that we think it works, that we actually use it.
Yeah, exactly. So then right away, seamlessly, I'd go into share, where I get to answer this as a participant, and I can put as many thoughts as I want, and then right underneath why that's important to me. So these are a couple of my thoughts. And then I just click enter, and then in real time, I could go to start and see my colleagues' thoughts and rate them from 1 to 5. So getting better at working. Yeah, that's my thought. I think that's pretty important. Communication. I don't know, what do you mean by communication? There's not that much context, so I'm going to give it a 3. And then I just would go through, and you'd probably notice this bar on the top, and that's kind of the participants' gauge of how many thoughts they've ranked. So I've already done a couple since I've been in this process before, and as I rank this would slowly fill up. Again, in real time, I could go to discover and see what are those thoughts that have been prioritized by my company, or the company, not my company. And here you'll notice that in this exchange, 75 people have been participated with 51 thoughts and 818 stars. And so right before the company meeting, Dave was able to send this out while we were driving. It didn't take much time. It only took me a couple minutes to put my thoughts in. And here you can see what the group has prioritized. As well as underneath, Dave has this option as a leader to include leader comments. So really to tie the input back into the discussion from what he's understanding. So agree, I like how we're focusing on both ends of communication, not just speaking clearly or understanding, but blah, blah, blah. And so keeps going. He has a bit of humor here, as you can say. Pardon, sorry, I was multitasking around listening actively. And so you're probably noticing that there was a couple of themes around this. And so to wrap up the process and to tie the input all together back out and demonstrate how Dave was taking this forward, you can really easily create a leader report. So I'd like to show you how that looks like. And so this is a leader report where the question is posed, as well as a brief summary of what Dave hoped to learn, what he had learned, and how this is informing some decision-making moving forward. And so from this exchange, the leadership team at Thought Exchange decided to create some professional development aspects throughout the year. So we did a lot of improv. There was some management courses that were trained around this about further developing communication and listening amongst teams, as well as Dave has the ability to include those top 10 comments or thoughts with his leader comments, as well as any other thoughts that he thought were as important outside of the top 10 thoughts. So I actually really like this one, which is like 7, because this is part of the power the tool has, which is to kind of, for leadership to have access into kind of misconceptions. And so there's this misconception around management that people became leaders because of them being good at their previous jobs. And Dave actually